Does anybody remember the Hindenburg situation? Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Monk Luigi. Thank you all for coming into the temple. It's been a while. I know, sadly, some stuff had to occur, so I'm getting right back into the groove of making some video content. And as you saw by the thumbnail, I had to go ahead and talk about our new defensive system that the United States Army has decided to create. I'm sorry, I just could not help but laugh at what I was reading, and when I saw it, it just blew my mind. And apparently this has been going on for a while. So we're going to jump right into the article, but before we do, I want to give a special shout out to all of the subscribers that stayed, who have been a part of my channel for a while, and to all of the new subscribers that are in my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And if there's anybody that's watching in the diaspora, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, comment down below, let people know what your opinion is on the videos that I make. All the content, all the critiques help. So we're gonna go ahead and switch right on over to one of the articles that I was reading, and it was the newest weapon that the Pentagon came out with is this wonderful balloon. Now I'm not gonna read all of it, not all of these articles. However, I will be putting them down in the description box, the links to these 3 articles that I have, so you can go ahead and check them out for yourself. But I want to do some excerpts. So the U.S. military's newest weapon against China and Russia is hot air. The Pentagon is working, and this was done, this new article came out July 5th, 2022. So the Pentagon is working on a new plan to rise above competition from China and Russia, utilizing balloons. This wonderful, stupid Hindenburg, this Goodyear Blip. The high altitude inflatable flies at between 60,000 and 90,000 feet will be added to the Pentagon's extensive surveillance network and could eventually be used to track hypersonic weapons. The idea may sound like science fiction, but the Pentagon budget documents signals the technology is moving from DoD scientific community to the military services. High or very high altitude platforms have a lot of benefit for their endurance on stations, maneuverability, and also flexibility for multiple payloads, said Tom Caraco, Senior Fellow of the International Security Program and Missile Defense Project Director at the Center of Strategic and International Studies. The Pentagon continues to invest in these projects because the military could use the balloons for various missions. Now, this is the one I definitely wanted to read. Over the past 2 years, the Pentagon has spent $3.8 million on balloon projects and plans to spend $27.1 million in fiscal year for 2023 to continue their work on multiple efforts and according to the budget document. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is working on its own hypersonic weapons program despite Wednesday's failure of the latest test. Now this part right here, this one stuck out to me too. China surprised the Pentagon in August by testing a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile, which narrowly missed its target by roughly 24 miles. That's 24 miles, if y'all didn't add the 2 together. 12 plus 12 is 24. So roughly 24 miles away. And also, Russia has been ramping up hypersonic weapons development in response to the U.S. withdrawal from anti-ballistic missiles treaty in 2002. So, as you can see, the Pentagon and the military said, I think the best, greatest move that we as a country to defend our nation is to utilize these wonderful balloons that fly 90,000 miles. The funny thing is that as I've read most of these articles, which keep projecting 27.1 million going into 2023, one thing that stuck out is that in a few of these articles, they state that these things are not going to be capable. They're not going to have any type of weapon on them, right? It's just going to have this thing called the Jaylin security system. And what the Jaylin does is it just targets that there's a missile in the vicinity. Now, for you to know also, and all of these things should be popping up as I'm telling you this, the Jaylin system has an area coverage of only the size of Texas. And if you just don't know, that only fits about 13 states within its targeting range. Sorry, keep up in your way. Yes, that's 13 states. And the cherry on top of this thing is that the balloon doesn't fly on its own. No. The balloon, it comes in a pair, so it's two balloons that look like the Hindenburg, and they're tethered to the ground. That's right, people. The balloons, they're not flying like drones. They're tethered to the ground by like a 1 6/8 little string. So pretty much it's the Earth's little happy balloons. With a tracking system that only covers the size of Texas. And they're stuck on the East Coast. I'm sorry. And apparently they're going to be able to track these missiles coming in from the West Coast, because if you don't know, China is closer to us on the west side versus the east side. And these two balloons, which cost $27.1 million, is supposed to be our greatest defense to a hypersonic missile. And if you don't know, the hypersonic missile goes 5 times the speed of sound, close to 6,641 kilometers per hour. Now, I did some little razzmatazz math here. It was simple. It was just the distance equals velocity divided by time. So I solved for the time frame. I solved for t. And I know this is basic physics. I know that there's other stuff you can calculate into it. But I came up with an answer that it would take roughly about an hour and 30 minutes if a hypersonic missile was shot from China into America from the west side. So an hour and 43 minutes to hit Virginia. To Virginia. I did the math for Virginia. So China to Virginia, solving for time, that was an hour and 43 minutes. I decided to take it and one-up it, and I said, what about if they shot it off of a ship that was more into the North Atlantic Ocean, just hypothetically? And that shortens the time to roughly about 40-something minutes to 30 minutes. Now, could you imagine if a plane, a Chinese plane, and mind you, we gave away one of our best airplanes to China, decided to take that hypersonic missile and shoot it from over 100,000 feet, roughly, or maybe just a little above the 90,000 feet altitude of the Jaylin scanner, and then shot it off the North Atlantic coastline. Just food for thought of how quickly that missile will enter into American airspace and just destroy everything, as you see the burning blimp in the thumbnail. I mean, really, I'm trying to figure out what person, what individual, who would sign off, what president of the United States decided to go with this program of flying 2 balloons that are stuck into the ground of Washington, D.C., and they can only cover 15 I mean, I'm not sure about my history and geography, but if I'm not mistaken, there are 50 states in America, 51 if you include Puerto Rico. What is this going to do to defend against us? Because there's statements that say that the Department of Defense believes that this will be a very good way to deter the hypersonic missile. Initially, the program was started to stop nations from utilizing cruise missiles. So I guess I can get that. I would have gave them an out if it wasn't for one thing. We have drones. Yes, we have drones. We also have a Coast Guard. We have a Navy as well that have satellites as well that would be able to detect cruise missiles that fly roughly about 800 kilometers per hour in the sky going into American territory. So why in the world would you utilize funding, initially 2.1 going to $21.6 million for some stupid blips? I'm trying to say this without cursing because I was cursing this out left and right in the storm. That can only go 60 to 90,000 feet above the ground. Now, further in these articles, there was a statement that said that they tried this in 2015. And when they did it in 2015, they found that the freaking daggone thing drifted off to Pennsylvania for 3 hours because there was no way to keep the blip there. I'm rolling because this was a thing that occurred. I was like, why? Why would they do that? Oh, just forget about what happened in 2013. I definitely gotta find that. And I'm gonna put it up here. But it was like, oh, in 2013, the missile went and it just flew off somewhere and la 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 la. I was like, and so it went from Virginia all the way to Pennsylvania. Oh, here it is right here. 2015. So the Army conducted this 3 years exercise to see if the Jaylin Blips would do anything. And the stupid line broke away and it just flew off all the way to Pennsylvania. Oh God, I'm mad about this. I'm really mad about this. And the reason why I'm mad about this is because the military can use this is what we call in the military waste. All right, I'm calling it as it is. This is complete waste. This is trash. This is garbage for military defense. And so far for the past 2 years, the military has been spending their money on wasteful items, whether it be with the commercials that they're indicating and showing that they're more inclusive and etc. When you have the military might showing these commercials to other nations, it pretty much is more of an invite to, yes, please invade us, please invade us. We have no strength at all. And then you had freaking daggone, you have this stupid blip, and then the military decided to do a tutorial class on how to talk to sailors. That stupid class, which is ridiculous because we already have a term for it. Calling somebody, instead of calling them a he or a she, we just say shipmates, sailor, something that they've been doing for eons. So if someone was to get offended by a gender at all, you being a sailor or a shipmate is what you are if you join the Navy organization. And beyond that, now you have these 2 blip balloons that can only fly from 60,000 to 90,000 feet that is tethered to the ground, and it only can stay in Washington, D.C. Nowhere near the West Coast, hoping to put more balloons somewhere else in America, thinking that that's going to stop something that can get to Virginia. Mind you, I just did China to Virginia. I didn't do it from China to any other state that they want to attack. And that's going to take less than an hour and 43 minutes. And let that alone, let Russia decide to join right alongside with China to do a bombardment. You really telling me that the best defense that America came up with was some stupid blips? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is a waste of money, and this is a waste of time for soldiers. And I know somebody's going to be in there saying, but you got to take, initiative sometimes. Sometimes you got to go ahead and be innovative. Okay, how about taking that $21.6 million and then making sure, our testing sites to practice our weapons or use the ESR equipment? What if that is functioning? Because we're still having problems with that. What about putting extra money for clothing allowance for those who are active in reserve to be able to get new military uniforms? What about being innovative with the new robotic limbs, the robotic leg things that would allow people to traverse various terrains without too much fatigue and move a little bit faster, and it being bulletproof? What about being innovative with armor? Instead, you got things being wasted on a whole bunch of tanks, stupid commercials, stupid training videos, and now stupid blips. And we all know who was the person that decided to do that. What was the individual that decided to go ahead and fund this project? And then, let alone, you read these articles, you can go ahead and see that these blips don't even have anything else on it. It's just a targeting system. A targeting system, and that's it. It doesn't have anti-missiles, laser, sound wave, anything. It detects anything entering our airspace. Now, I'm not saying this is not something that they're probably not going to think of in the future, but this funding some stupid blips is ridiculous to me. Especially when you have a whole bunch of satellites flying in the atmosphere, you have a whole bunch of drones, and you have plenty of ships and TACSATs that we have throughout the military for tracking and identifying objects that are moving that quickly through airspace. This is nonsensical. You don't get a pass for this project. Okay? There's plenty of things you can invest in. Heck, you could have took that $21.6 million and then invested that into all the soldiers who are active, right, to get their eyes fixed since they have to wear glasses. Yes. What about a project like that? What about taking that $21.6 million and then, reinvesting it into the VA hospitals and getting them better quality care? Instead, we got $21.6 million going to two stupid blips with just a Jaylin targeting system that only covers a radius of Texas and 13 states that is stuck in the ground. How did we get to this point as a military might? If I would have seen this, I would have shot a missile in here just in case. Just cause. I would have shot a missile into the airspace just to see if the military would be able to react fast enough to do it. And then it would just blow up and be confetti raining all over Washington, D.C. Hypothetically, if I was China. If I was China and Russia, I would have just said, let's see if they can stop this. What are they going to do? Just to see a reaction. Because right now, our military force is looking weak. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why are you getting so mad about and triggered about the videos and the commercial and all that stuff? Because sadly, the reason why America is able to have the freedoms that they have and be able to enjoy the leisures that you have is due to the fact that we have a strong military that will F things up. Okay? You can scream and yell about all of the politics and how it's messing up and our country needs to work and become better. However, nobody would dare decide to invade our country because they knew that we had the Toffenhunden and a strong army to back them, and an air force that would drop missile upon missile upon missile upon missile from all the airplanes that they have. Instead, we're showing and displaying articles of stuff like this, and people are seeing commercials and videos of sensitivities in our country, what do you think they're gonna do? And I know y'all gonna be like, that doesn't mean anything. You can be sensitive and you can still be the greatest bag behind everyone the scene. I proposed this question to my sister, right? And I proposed this question to you. If you were getting robbed and you were getting chased down and there were two police officers on your left and on your right, a little bit of a distance away because they can't hear you. And one of those police officers is wearing a ballerina tutu and high heels. And the other police officer is wearing a genuine police officer's uniform. Which person are you trusting with your life before the bad guy comes up and shoots you in the back to rob you for your stuff? Which police officer are you going to go to? I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, most of y'all are going to the guy in the freaking uniform that looks like they're going to beat the crap out of the robber. I know y'all going to go ahead and put it in the comments, but Uvalde, shut up. That's not the case in the scenario right now. We're talking about police officers that would do their job. We're looking at aesthetics, or what Amazing Lucas would say is the optics. The optics of our military might right now currently is ridiculous. It's retarded. I don't know why we would even fund this. This is ridiculousness. But hey, that's just my opinion, okay? Maybe I'm off base. Maybe, hey Monk, you see those two blips? Those blips are gonna save America from hypersonic missiles with nuclear warheads that can almost touch its target from 24 miles away. 24 miles away, it's off by 24 miles. All right? Those blips are important to the Army and to the defense of our nation. Or maybe, you know what, we could spend our $21.6 million on something better. I think we need to just, pause the Project Hindenburg before this thing burns down from 90,000 feet. Like that hypersonic missile just shoots right through that stupid blip and then burns Washington, D.C. right alongside it from 90,000 feet. Maybe we need to reinvest our finances. Either or, please comment down below. Again, while you're down there, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for coming to the temple. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And remember, this L is for you. Later.